This is a video response to Ordo Templi Aurora regarding your video, The Cult of Desteni Beliefs and Practices, Part 1. Now, in your video, you mentioned the following, quote, "The theories behind the Destiny ideology are more often than not fantasies based mostly on ideas that have already been established as fantasies. The obvious example being the interdimensional portal, which is just another version of channeling." Then you go on to say that channeling was known as mediumship in the 19th century, was shown to be an illusion and scam then, and it still is now, unquote. Now, looking at that statement, it is very clear to me that you are speaking from knowledge and information, from what has gone before you. So to clarify this point in relation to the portal, I will share my perspective from actual experience. So firstly, let's have a look at the message of the portal. It doesn't matter in which way the message gets brought to us, because the message is about the actual, real problems of this world. The problems of this world remain the same, so it shouldn't matter if a freaking Christmas elf delivered the message as a reminder to show us what we are busy doing and allowing. Because the way in which the message is shared is completely irrelevant. What is relevant is the message in itself. So by hovering on your own judgments about the portal, you are actually just using it as a diversion tactic for yourself, so that you don't have to face the responsibility you have towards the message, towards fixing the problems of this world. By regurgitating knowledge and information which is based on past events, is purely your way of turning a blind eye to the actual truth that the portal shares. And that truth, in a nutshell, is that you and I and everybody else who lives on this planet have been brainwashed since we were little kids, by being brought up to believe and live the beliefs of those who have gone before us. And in so doing, we have been trapped in the cycle of being slaved to an economic system which dictates who is able to live and who is able to die based on the amount of money that they have. Now, the brainwashed part comes in where we have actually become numb to the atrocities that are being allowed by the current economic system. We have come to accept it by having the attitude, oh well, that's just the way it is, nothing I can do about it. That is exactly the point that keeps everybody enslaved to the system, which allows for all the atrocities that exist currently to keep on existing. That is fact. That is reality. You are also subjected to the current economic system. So stop trying to create excuses for why you are not taking responsibility for what we have all accepted and allowed. That is the message of the portal. And as a Destonian, I clearly see the message for what it is. This world is fucked up beyond comprehension. And the only way that we are going to get it sorted out is by seeing the message for what it is, and then standing up to change the abusive cycles we have all so comfortably existed in. Well, obviously not all have comfortably existed in them, which is also a point that I have come to realize and understand for myself. The understanding that the whole world doesn't revolve around me and my so-called happiness. The realization that I share this earth with billions of other beings too, and that majority of those beings are being made to do and survive unimaginable things to exist on this earth. So, to share a little bit about my personal experience with the portal. Before the portal opened up, I had many beliefs around channeling and things of that nature. All my beliefs were derived from things I had heard, or I had read, or watched on TV and in movies. So basically I had the strong idea that everything that falls into that category of channeling and speaking to spirits and shit like that, I strongly believed that it was all bullshit. And I was also a very stubborn and strong-headed personality, which meant that once I had decided something, no one could convince me otherwise. Then the portal opened. When this happened, I was there. Well, not at that specific moment, but around that time I lived with Sunette. And it only took one conversation with a being who came through to share a message, to shatter all my beliefs and ideas I had around, well, what I believed to be channeling at that time. I knew Sunette as who she was before the portal opened, and it was so clear to me that the being who came through to share the message at that specific moment that I was introduced to it was not Sunette at all. And the point that really got me is, again, coming back to the message. The message that was shared with me was filled with so much common sense which should have been common to me, but wasn't, which was like a strange experience to realize in itself, which reflected to me how trapped I had been within my own self-interest, that I had missed what was actually going on in this reality. So right then and there, all my beliefs and ideas around the portal were broken down and almost like vanished into thin air, because the message was so absolute that it would have been so self-dishonest for me to not see it for what it is. So I don't see the portal as some bullshit scam, because I see the truth and common sense that is shared with all as a wake-up call to humanity, that we need to stop participating in the cycles of abuse, and we need to change ourselves in order to change the world. I have to date received invaluable support and assistance from the portal, and that is the amazing thing about the portal, that the support and assistance is so vast and so unconditional and so constant that no matter what haters like you say or do, the message of what really matters will remain being shared with all until we manifest a world that is best for all.